Okay. Um, Finally back in my office so I can get my dailies done. And I'm going to be reading them from yesterday too because I never did. Um, okay. Yesterday's, hopefully, if I have this right, um, yesterday's spell would have been the witch bottle spell. So even though it was yesterday's, I'll just go ahead and do it because just because it's listed as a certain day doesn't mean you can't do it a different day. Witch bottles are popular in magic and, though most often employed for protection, they can be effective talismans for drawing love into your life. In a clean glass jar, place some or all of the following while visualizing love being drawn to your dwelling: spring water, a drop of your own blood, a strand of your own hair, vanilla extract, and a rose quartz stone. You may also use any form of coriander, cinnamon, hyacinth, licorice, yerba mate, rue, myrtle, lemon, lavender, jasmine, mastic, rose, peppermint, thyme, or plum. Drawings or other love talismans representing your goal of romance can also be included. During a full moon, bury the sealed bottle near an entryway to your home. It will work for a year and a day. Okay, maybe I did do that one. Um, Good Day Tarot Spell, December 29th. Place a white candle on your altar and put the Fool card from your favorite tarot deck in front and slightly to the left of the candle. Put the World card in front and slightly to the right, and light the candle. Shuffle the tarot deck, thinking of wonderful things that you would like to happen today. Pull a card from the deck and place it between the Fool and the World cards. Meditate for a few moments on all the positive possibilities. Extinguish the candle, leave the cards on the altar, and make sure you smile at your reflection before leaving the house. And hopefully that brings me up to speed because tomorrow's the 30th, and that's when we finally get our checks. So I'm having issues with my wig here because I'm pulling a bunch of hair out and don't mean to. But I like it, to look good and everything. This side, this side. I wish would hang down more, but anyway. My son Noah yesterday was talking about possibly moving to Kentucky, and he's got a job offer there. He would be with his brother, Ted, his adopted brother, not blood, but him and Ted grew up together. They was in the same foster home, got adopted by the same person, Corey. And I told him, I said, sweetie, I said, if you want to go, go, because don't deny yourself something like that. It's because nice opportunities don't come along very often. So when they do, don't turn them down. Don't turn your back on them because you may never get another one again, or you may never get another one for a while. And I hope that Ted was speaking the truth when he said they will have a place to stay while they're down there helping some guy build his house. and he wants to live down there, I think, more than anything because of a girl, but he denies it. And I'm enjoying my time with him. We all are. But, darn it, fingernails. Um, this place is just too small and too crowded, and we don't have the finances or the resources to house, feed, take care of, 3 people in this tiny place. And I'd like to have my living room back. But this has become my room, my office, because it's the only place I can halfway be by myself and not have to leave my own apartment to do so. So even though this may sound like I'm being mean, I'm not. This wig is so weird how it's. Wish there was some way I could get it. Because see now, see how it's just looks weird to me. I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to rush him out the door or anything. But he needs to find somewhere else to live, because this is just too hard for me and Chris. We're used to things being a certain way, and now that's been majorly disrupted because a dire situation came about, and I wasn't about to let my kid be on the streets and homeless in Cleveland, Ohio, where he knew nobody. And because I've lost touch with my surrogate son, Lamont, who lives in Cleveland, there was no way that I could, if I wish I could get in touch with him again. And I don't know why his number was removed from my phone. But I just knew him as Lamont. And he was a friend of my oldest son, Michael. They met in Marion Correctional, and they became like brothers. They kind of helped each other through some tough times and got each other through, and that carried past, even after Lamont got released. And, well, sadly, my son is still in there. But anyway, on with the spell of today. Ceridwen. The Welsh goddess Ceridwen had 2 children. Ceridwen, who was beautiful, and Afogdu, who was ugly. To compensate him for his looks, Ceridwen created a potion of intelligence and inspiration. For a year and a day she simmered this in her cauldron and charged a boy, Gwion, to stir it. One day when she was out gathering more herbs for the brew, some of the hot potion spattered onto Gwion's hand, which he put into his mouth to ease the pain. Gwion was suddenly gifted with the qualities Ceridwen had planned for her son. Knowing she would be angry, he ran off, but Ceridwen chased him. To elude her, he changed himself into a hare, but she became a greyhound. He became a fish, she an otter. And when he became a bird, she became a hawk. Finally, he became a grain of wheat, and she a hen, at which point she devoured him. 9 months later, she gave birth to a baby boy, which Ceridwen cast adrift in the water. This child was found by a prince who raised him, and he grew up to be the great poet Taliesin, meaning shining one. He was the earliest recorded bard, and there is still a place in Wales called Taliesin. This tale of life, death, and rebirth, all leading to inspiration, reminds us that we must be prepared to embrace all the aspects of life in order to progress. The cauldron of Caradwin is often invoked in the craft as the source of inspiration. If in doubt about a spell, don't do it. And that is very true, because if you're new to magic and you're just starting out and you don't have a proper teacher, you can really get yourself in a lot of trouble. That's why I tried to offer myself as a teacher, because I know there's a lot of young witches out there that I would like to see do well, not, take the wrong turn and destroy their lives in the process. Okay, the goddess of today is Janem Melee Tekel. Themes: banishing, health, protection, harvest, thankfulness, kinship. Symbols: root crops. About Tekel. In Melee, this goddess supports the heavens with a pillar from the center of her creation, the earth. Tekel is the supreme goddess of agriculture and its abundance. She comes to us at the end of the old year to keep us healthy and well provided for in the new. To do today: each December, people in Melee give thanks to the spirits for Tekel's abundance and the success of families, and they pray for ongoing health, protection, and victory over any evils they may face. It is an example worth considering. Follow Malaysian custom and consume Tekel's bounty today through luscious feasts. As you take the first slice or serving of an entree, set it aside for the goddess. Don't forget to include root crops, especially yams or sweet potatoes, in your feast today. These are some of Tekel's sacred foods, and they will fill your heart with an abundance of love. Later, after dinner has settled, dance in a joyful manner, being thankful for what you have instead of worrying about what you don't. Tekel will join you in that dance, and the energy it generates will empower the next year with health, prosperity, and unity. So Tekel, Takel, is the goddess of the day. So, hail and welcome, Tekel. Be with us today. Bless and honor us with your presence, and forgive that I probably won't be able to prepare a feast today in your honor, because I just don't have the money to have, an abundance of food so that I could. This thing does not want to stay in there for nothing. I have to keep getting up because it won't freaking stay plugged in. Like I said, I know there may be some of you that understand what I say when I say I need my own place. Place where I can just go and be by myself and take some me time and not have to worry about having to jump up and go to another room because somebody wants to lay down, or and I'm not saying anything against Chris. It's common that he lays down sometimes even as much as a couple of times a day. Which of course makes it difficult to even remotely try to do anything together or go anywhere. And we don't have the money right now anyway. So I'm not saying any frustration or anything towards him and, wanting to lay down. I'm frustrated because I need my own space. I need my own place. Um, and the money to be able to afford to live there part of the time, or when I need to go do work and um, be by myself for a while. Uh, or if we could just, get a house, that would be really nice, but I just don't really have any faith or hope that we ever will. I feel like we're going to be stuck here until we die, and that's not okay. What is my affirmation for today? Haven't gotten this card yet. Peacefulness. That's exactly what I could use, is something like that. Have my only, I don't know what they call the gypsy wagons. I want to say Bardo, but I'm not sure if that's appropriate or not. Because you don't want to say Bardello, because that means hoe house. I have a peaceful, tranquil, and untroubled heart. This is where I choose to spend my time. I can bring guests, but any person, thought, or event that brings drama or chaos is not invited. My heart is a special property, and I'm going to keep it that way so we can all keep enjoying it and I can get my security deposit back. I have actually looked this up before, that you can buy. There are gypsy wagons that are for sale, but you would have to be seriously rich to even buy one. Because I looked at the prices of them and I thought, well, so much for that idea. And what's worse is you can actually have somebody make you one. And why I say that's worse is, even though it has a good point, the cost would be far greater, because if I'm going to have one built to my specifications, I don't even want to know how much it would cost. Okay, what affirmation does this deck have today for everybody else? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Congratulations, you're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. And we could all definitely use some of that, because the world just isn't so much of a great place anymore. There's too much bad going on. Too much death, too much chaos, too much destruction, and on and on and on. And it's heartbreaking. It's like nowhere is safe anymore. What message does the Green Oracle have for me today? Oh, I haven't gotten this one before. Earth. A little bunny rabbit, a rock face, and a little its little cave behind it, its little dwelling or house or whatever. I always like it when I get one that I haven't gotten yet, you know. Number 17. Concept Earth image, many rocks of ragged and unusual shape, with flowers coming out of the cracks and a rabbit coming out of its hole. The last element, Earth, is the foundation of the world we walk on. Many times Earth seems to lack the comfort and the immediate sense of welcoming of the other elements. After all, it is a bit more difficult to portray romantically what we usually call dirt. But Earth is not a romantic notion. It is about reality and physical presence. It is the root of our world. It is the difficult home we build day after day until it has the shape of our heart, our hearths. Divination meaning focus on the foundations. Find a safe place, defend it, and start from it. A seed only grows if put in good earth. There is no place like home. Okay, what does Green Oracle have for everybody else today? You got the Me card. Shows the entire life cycle of a person from baby to teen to mother to grandmother. First card in the deck, lucky you. I've gotten this card many times in the past. Concept, a person at the center of the ecosystem. Image, the child, the maiden, the woman, the mother, the elder, walking up the slope of existence. This is a card about ourselves. It's not by chance that the card is numbered 1. Before thinking about the connection between us and nature, we need to understand us a bit better. We live such complicated lives, money, house, work, family. Basically, what gets us through every day is the ego, a powerful sense of self that creates our identity and individuality. It is what we usually think as our self, a combination of memories and thoughts. But let's try for a moment to look at ourselves from afar, in space as well as in time. We are not just our ego. We are something very small. We are what we were and what we will be, and yet still be a small thing among the whole universe. But such smallness should not be a cause for loss or inconsequentiality. We are something important, but much deeper than the here and now our ego lives in. It is impossible to find happiness and harmony in the here and now. That is the space for pleasure or satisfaction. But in order to find true happiness and harmony, we need to go beyond that, finding ourselves through letting go, by accepting that the I of today is just a part of the I that was and will be, and that the I we strongly cling to is also part of something greater. And it's not alone, but it's connected to all other lives and living things. Divinational meaning, focus on your perception and point of view. Listen to your needs and emotions. Accept the natural evolution of things. Do not try to still time and escape change. Find a direction to move forward and look to the future. So, there you go. I hope it helps. And I'm probably going to have to get off here soon because I'm sure my mom is over at her place starving right about now, hungry, and, all she's got is chips and donuts to snack on because she's less important than Jim is to himself. He's he's just dropping the ball, and a lot of us in the family, if not all of us, do not like it because he's not being truly appreciative of his place to live. Just paying the bills is one thing. Being present, that's an entirely different matter. And he just isn't. Too often he's just doing stuff for other people that I'm not saying is bad that he's doing stuff for other people. It's a good quality to have in a person, but as I've said many times, I don't like the way he's doing my mom. I wish she would go back to giving me $60 a week, three days a week, that I would go over there and take care of her. And I only ask for the money because I need it. She's got more than I will probably ever have. And she just sits on it. She don't touch it. She don't spend it. And I'm not saying that's necessarily bad, but when your daughter, me, the only one out of all the siblings that really truly have gone above and beyond the call of duty of trying to make her life easy and truly loving her and taking care of her as much as I can, I think I deserve to be paid. It's not a bad thing to be paid for such a thing. And it was only, $60 a week. I mean, that's less than you could get working an 8-hour shift somewhere on a job. It's like, and if she's going to still doing the 1-day thing, I'm going to have to remind her, Mom, our verbal agreement was $20. Okay. Even if I'm just doing 1 day a week. And right now I need that $20 because my fish are almost out of food. And, I'm not asking for it just to go out and blow it on something, I really need the money. And if you can't give me the 20, then why should I bother doing it? Or just don't even pay me at all. And in which case I don't know if that'll be very encouraging to come over and continue taking care of you, knowing that you're sitting on thousands of dollars that you don't need. But it gives you a sense of security having that money. But what good is that money when you're gone? Why not have fun with it? Why not give it to the one person, the one child out of all 3 of your children that has done as much for you as I have? I'm not saying give me all of it, but even an extra $300 a month would be a great help to me right now. But I'm taking 60. And now it's down to 20, and then she can't even do 20. She's giving me 10, and it's like, Mom, this is just, I'm sorry if you don't understand this, but this just isn't enough. I need more. I need the 20. What dragon is with me today, and what is your message? The healer. Isn't he pretty? Well, I could definitely use some healing. He is a guardian dragon. He or she, I can't remember if this one's male or female. He's on page 120. Here we go. This gentle yet powerful dragon is the guardian of all healers on earth, which I am one of those. He connects particularly with those who work energetically, which I do. He reminds us that it is a he. Although we may walk our talk, we also need to heed our own advice. We are not a bottomless pit of energy and need to take time out now and again. His message: I am the guardian of the healers. You are capable of great things on earth as a healer and as a light for others to follow. But to do this, you must burn brightly and throw light into the shadows of your world. You give a great deal to others. Yes, I do. But you must also make time for yourself. And this is what I keep working on that I don't do enough. You need to rest and recharge. Your energy tank requires refilling lest you become depleted. And I already feel depleted. Make time to meditate, rejuvenate, to relax, and above all, to laugh. You may love your work, but it does not define you. You also need time to be you, a wife, husband, mother, father, daughter, son, sister, or brother, or any other role you fulfill. He reminds us not to take ourselves or life too seriously. If we do, we risk forgetting that we are just one tiny cog in the great wheel of life. And that's fitting just for all the reasons it stated. I don't take enough time for myself and I am depleted. I'm not my normal, happy, cheerful self that the majority of the time I try to be, because once again, I'm making sacrifices for my family that are killing me in the process. And what are they sacrificing exactly for me? And it's not supposed to be a one-way street. It's supposed to be a two-way street. And when you don't feel that it is, it makes it harder to be, happy and cheerful and everything's great when it's really not. What dragon is here today for everybody else? It's not okay. I'm not okay. You got emergence. And he's on the book and the front of the box. $73. Okay. 73. I wish these letters or these numbers were better able to see, because sometimes, even with my glasses, I have trouble seeing what numbers I'm looking for. Sometimes, as spiritual beings, we find our human experience on earth can be quite tough. Listen to the wisdom of emergence. As he says, it's time to reflect. You need to take stock of what you value and what is important to you. Contemplation and quietness are required. Your experiences may have been vexing. It is unwise to dwell on them, but you can learn from them. Understand those you need to remember and let all others go. From this place, a new, vibrant you can emerge. But first, you must allow yourself time to reflect. Go within to that inner place of peace and bring forth that which you wish to be. This dragon appears when we need to take a long, hard look at ourselves and how we live, what we do, and more harshly, our behavior. None of the dragons are a pushover. They all demand that we take stock of ourselves. Stop kidding ourselves and are openly honest. An emergence is no different. He gets straight to the nitty-gritty and informs you that you are responsible for your life, nobody else's. Your behavior and your experiences, and more importantly, how you react to them. Grit and determination are the order of the day when this powerful dragon finds his way into your cards. He finishes with, remember, you are safe with me. Your fears are nothing but paper tigers and figments of your imagination. Allow me to guide you as you find your balance and carve a new path. I'm going to do the fairy card, and then I think I'm going to have to end this live and start getting myself ready to go over and take care of my mom because nobody else will. And I'm not expecting to not help take care of her, but it would be nice if I had some help to take care of her. And I just don't get that. I'm completely on my own. That doesn't exactly feel acknowledged by family members that could help me but just refuse to. I may put on a brave face because I have to, but inside I'm drowning in my own tears because I feel like I'm being taken advantage of in so many ways by people that I need to rely on and I need to feel supported by. And when I don't, then it just discourages me from even trying anymore. What fairy is with me today, and what is your message? A blessing on the heart's calling. I think that's 38. A blessing on the heart's calling. The fairy gift of living from the truest and most pure call of the heart. For fairies, what the heart wants in its purest form is the right thing to desire. But for humans, we have long practiced smothering the heart with the voice of reason, most often not our own voice, but the voices of others, of cultures and governments, and of groups of people who fear nothing so much as you hearing the heart's deep call. And so, with this gift of the fairy, comes the gift of hearing again the heart's deep call and having the courage and commitment to follow it. Yes, please. No matter where it may take us, the heart's deep call will never drive us to a destructive relationship or a hurtful scenario. It is not going to sacrifice our spirit to the making of money or the stifling of creativity. The heart's deep call, the true call, is beyond this and will only take us in the direction of the dreams we are meant to fulfill this lifetime. The fairies can now, with this gift, slowly lift the mist that covers the shining heart within you and open you up to that deep listening to your own self. Yes, please. And help you to value the song of the heart that has been singing to you since before you were born. For the fairies have heard the song of your heart and have wondered at the difference between its call and the life you have lived thus far. With this gift, your life will move more into accord with the heart. Yes, please. And you will begin to live from that deep, true place with integrity, with fulfillment, without foolishness or following another. For your own heart will guide you and never ask you to sacrifice yourself to the creation of the dream of another. And that's what I do a lot. The fairy's gift is of the heart's deep call to you, friend. May its song bring you every blessing. I do so much for others, and I don't do enough for me. What fairy is with everybody else today? A blessing of the wild within. Card 24. A blessing of the wild within, the fairy gift of the untamed heart. Within you is a wild place, a place that is pure and untouched by conditioning and should nots. And it is to this place the fairy blessing of the wild within comes and rests and takes root within you this day. This fairy blessing is a calling back to your wild self, to the self that has been shaped and pummeled by the forces of family and culture and manner and jobs and timetables and by the things in the human world that can cage us. And so the Fae offer you this shining blessing, which returns you for a moment to your own wild within. So you can remember what it felt like to be natural, to be unthinking and uncensored, to be innocent and dancing, to move when called to have that primal instinctual self take hold and fly with you. When this blessing comes, let the wild within flow all the way through you and find places and spaces in your life to allow the wild within to have its moment. Dance without fear of judgment. Speak words falling like waterfalls from your lips. Sing and use the voice the great gift of nature has offered you. And never feel awkward or strange or like you do not fit in. Instead, knowing you are a deep part of all that is around you, and that somehow by your very presence, you ignite a little of that wild within inside every soul you meet. May the blessings of the wild within offer you a return to the natural, most innate parts of you, and let them arise and dance and sing and be loving towards all. Let the untamed heart of you warm all that is about you and bring you back to that sense of deep belonging to the earth and to the stars. Blessings of the fairy gift of the wild within to you, friend. I'm really glad I listened when the fairies encouraged me to buy this deck for myself. Let's see. Just putting things up. No, it's just too big. It don't fit in there very good. This deck is too big. I'm just trying to fit it in the box and can't. I don't know if I can fit it in here or not. Need to get my dragon book back in here too. I was going to take a shower today, But if I do, I'm not taking it here. I'll do it over at my mom's. And I gotta take one of these to her. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close this out so I can get ready and go take care of my mom. Blessed be. See you next time.